Hello. We should not have robot voice because we checked beforehand. But hey, yell at us if anyone is too loud or too soft, etc. And I can make some adjustments. I see Tuff is in the house. I see Bro Gullet. I see Woof. And of course, Sin. So hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're starting a little bit early because we're here and we figured why make you guys wait. Yeah, we are here to play a very serious, crunchy, methodical, like old school, lots of math game. It is actually based on a game called Peace Was Never an Option, which you guys will remind me the author is
Adam
Schwaninger. It is
Yeah,
available, I believe.
something.
I believe it is available on itch.io, and if not there, then it's TTRPG, Drive Through TTRPG. But I'm pretty sure I got it off of itch.io. It is fun. It is silly. It is loosely inspired by Untitled Goose Game and the one with the
Goat Simulator.
that kind of stuff. Like super silly animals in the wrong places, kind of games. So yeah, we have no idea what's going to happen. It's except for massive shenanigans. But before we dive in and explain a little bit more about the game and how it works, let's do intros. Let's start with Misha this time and work our way around that way.
All right. I am Misha Lesson 3. I'm here on Twitch with that name. I mostly mod for Deuces TV, but you can also find me on Twitter at Misha Weha. That's Misha with a WEHA at the end. So there's that. Should I talk about my character?
Yeah.
I'm playing Paisley, the alpaca. She's super cute because she's an alpaca. That's default with the territory. So I think that's about it. Cute alpaca living on the old suburb hippie farm. You know, people who make a farm in their suburb house and they get an alpaca and a few other animals and maybe, you know, collect wool and stuff like that.
And their neighbors hate them. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Who is this handsome fellow down in the bottom corner? Batty?
Help! I'm a raccoon. I've been stuck here.
God.
I'm Backwin, or the Backwin. I am on Twitch. I am on Twitter as the Backwin with 2 E's, and on Instagram as the Backwin lives. I'm trying to keep this raccoon under control. He's being very, very difficult. But he has a ambition to fly, as most great animals do, and robots, even if they're not allowed. Yeah, he stole these goggles from someplace.
The trash.
No,
Probably the trash.
it was a cylinder of space technology that was left outside.
Trash can. Got it. Cool. Hey, Coda, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Coded. You can find me anywhere as evil_coded. I am on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a hot second. I will return at some point, probably. And yeah, I use he and they pronouns. And I will be playing everyone's beloved goose, Honk Solo, who is very evil. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I am very evil. And I will be scheming and making plans because I'm evil, as all geese are.
Yes. It's your birthright. Thanks, yo, SJ.
I am SJ_sidekick. That's my name everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I always say I'm going to stream, but I don't. So I will be playing Dampus, who is a squirrel. She actually got that very endearing nickname from her neighbor. He's this like guy with a mustache that lives in a house thing right next to my tree. We're best buds. I always leave him acorns like in his car and everything. Never seen him eat one before, which I think if he tried it, he'd really like it. So I think that's going to be one of my goals is just making sure he just needs to try one, you know?
Yes, you explicitly have a very particular goal that is related to another streamer that we all know. Anyway,
I didn't say any names.
that's fine. It's fine. It
No,
all will
yeah,
be
we're best. Yeah,
all
we're
will be
great.
revealed. So, Peace Was Never an Option is the game that we are playing. It is very, very simple and straightforward. It is loosely based on Powered by the Apocalypse, which is something that should be really familiar to many of you in stream and later on YouTube, because we do a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games. But unlike those, which can be like series of full books, you know, a couple hundred pages each in terms of lore and mechanics and options like that, this one is, I think it's like basically 3 or 4 pages. The playbooks, as such as they are, really simple. Basically, every animal has 3 attributes or skills. They have move, they have sneak, and then they have a third one that only they have. So, for example, the raccoon has hands and therefore can use hands to do stuff, anything that requires thumbs. The goose has a really awful honk that can distract, annoy, or threaten. The squirrel has a hoard and can retrieve almost any small object. And the alpaca is cute, can charm, diffuse danger, or be non-threatening. But otherwise, they each have a value of +1, +2, or 0 in move, sneak, or that third thing. Just like every other Powered by the Apocalypse game, it is roll 2d6, add the relevant skill, and if you get a 6 or less, oops, that's not good. Get a 7 or 9, you did it, but maybe like you exposed yourself to some sort of complication, or you can get a 10 or more, and it's awesome, and you do absolutely everything you intended to do, and you avoid any risk or complication. So super duper simple, and you can help. Sometimes that would require a roll. Sometimes it's just you're there and you do a thing, and that would provide someone a +1 on their roll. So you guys can happen. You guys can certainly all stack yourselves up and wrap yourselves in a trench coat and impersonate a human.
That is definitely going to happen at some point, I feel.
Yeah. So that would involve someone making the roll and a couple of the other creatures helping. Anything else? You can communicate with each other. Humans do not understand you, however. You may be able to communicate with a few other creatures, but in general, you are special. Like neighborhood cats and dogs don't understand a word that you're saying, but you can speak to each other. I think that basically that is like the entire debrief on the game. It is that simple. Typically, we're not going to have to worry about you guys dying or becoming injured or any of that stuff. Threat is kind of distant, is all kind of narrative. Being found out, however, as super intelligent, self-aware, wild creatures might pose risk of being captured by some sort of government entity and studied, which might not be good. So calling attention to your special status is probably not the best idea. People don't like it. So we are in a suburb. We know that Dampus lives in a tree near a house. We know that Paisley lives in some sort of like suburban farm in someone's backyard. There's clearly a body of water nearby for Honk to hang out in, and we'll say that the neighborhood garbage men are maybe a little bit less than 100% dedicated to their job. So there's a fair amount of garbage for Raccoon to dig around in. But that's all we know so far about your neighborhood. Is there anything else that we need to know about the place where you live? Ideas?
There is really good food in those cylinders.
So maybe it's a somewhat prosperous neighborhood.
Yes.
Lots of school kids that have the crust of their PB&Js cut off for your breakfast snack.
Of course.
Anything else about the neighborhood? Features or personalities?
The pond I live in.
Mm-hmm.
The pond I live in, I think, is in like a nice park.
Okay.
You know, people like to feed bread to the birds that swim in there. I like to
Yes.
hoard the bread.
And prevent the other animals from getting it. Yep. So
The
there's
most evil of all.
So
Hoard.
so maybe the house that Dampus's tree sits in the yard of is borders a nice pond with a nice park with a little pond, and maybe like a fake river. Awesome. I assume that there is a relatively nearby municipal airport for reasons. Raccoon.
Yeah, there's a small kind of local airfield. I wouldn't say an airport.
Oh, like maybe just a little strip where they primarily, like maybe it's crop dusters for some of the more rural area outside.
Or the tour planes.
Oh, okay. So maybe there's some sites of natural beauty and attraction nearby that you have some tourists who go up in planes to get a look. Maybe some skydiving. Who knows? Speaking of which, you each individually have a thing that you're interested in accomplishing. Specifically, it's a thing that you are kind of like, I'd like to be able to do that. And it's a thing that humans routinely do, but creatures such as yourself, as far as you know, have never been able to accomplish. And then we'll figure out what your collective goal is. So, want to talk a little bit about Raccoon's fascination with light?
Oh, sure. Single me out. So Raccoon, he really like to fly because Honk won't let me ride them across the sky. And not even across backyards or roofs or down the street.
So you just think it'll be fun?
It looks peaceful up there.
Okay.
So I don't understand why, others won't let me do it.
That is super adorable. Paisley.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in the backyard dealing with the hippies, what do you dream of doing?
So I was Paisley's read magazines, and they are filled with delightful clothes and things like that, and they're all getting their picture taken and they look really cool. So Paisley thinks I could do that. I could be like a model, show off a new outfit, show people how that works. Maybe get a hat and a scarf, look stylish or something.
Perfect. So you want to play dress up and have your picture taken, be a model.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. What about Honk Solo?
I think Honk is currently at the pond in the park. It's got like a bit of a branch in his beak, scribbling out evil plans into the mud, snacking on soggy bread. Honk's plan is to take over the entire suburb. Gotta start small. We're starting with a suburb. We'll grow from there. If you were to look at his plans, it's a lot of circles, it's a lot of squares. There's a new thing called a triangle in there. He's still trying to work it in. But it's evil. It's real evil. And so, his goal is to be as evil as he can.
Got it. But no more specific than that.
No. Why limit yourself? Just
gonna find a way. Excellent. Cool. And Dampus, what is your life's ambition?
Oh, I have this friend, and some people introduce their friends to like, Cobb salads, or they try this new sushi or whatever. I just really want to introduce my friend to nuts, and so my goal is to get him into nuts. So if somehow share a meal that way, he'll know all the new rage and understand all these gifts I'm giving him that he doesn't seem to. He's a little slow. I don't think he understands.
little slow, a little preoccupied. So you want him to...
I know I've seen him eat other nuts. Like he'll eat like walnuts, almonds, but acorns and like pine cones, nothing.
He's never tasted your nuts. So yeah, awesome. Yeah. Cool. Wow. Anyway, so, all right. Well, it is bright early morning. And we'll say that it is common practice for Honk and Dampus and Raccoon to go over and kind of hang out near the fence of Paisley's yard, just to do what humans do, like, you know, chat over the fences and talk about their previous day, maybe make plans for what they're going to do. And someone has the bright idea that you should work together to achieve some sort of shared objective, something that would help you all achieve your goals. Who do you think that is?
Okay, guys. Guys, I've been noticing that a lot of the kids have these like weird small televisions, big word, I know, that they bring with them and they watch things on them. What if we put ourselves in those little televisions? And then we can brainwash them. And then all of suburbia have to listen to me.
Well, I don't know if they should listen to you, dear. But they always bring them around when they give me the food, you know, at the buffet, and they come and they use those little boxes and take a picture and everything. I think they look at each other. Maybe we can grab one of them. You know, why can't we have those?
My neighbor has a ton of them, like big ones, small ones, like medium-sized ones, some that are all like right next to each other, which is a little weird.
Well, we wouldn't need more than one, right? Unless you did get more than one.
If we got more than one, think about how many people could look at us. They could see how cute you are, Paisley. Look at you.
Oh, yes, they would, wouldn't they? Yeah, we'll just have to go get some from the store. We'll just run on down to the store and get ourselves some boxes.
I don't know about that. Last time I was there, I tried to give them some leaves for some things. I wanted a snack, and they chased me with a broom.
Oh, they wouldn't accept your leaves? I never.
They were good leaves too.
Were they the crunchy ones?
Have you tried nuts?
No, I didn't try any nuts. Did you try that idea I told you last week? Putting the nuts in his cup thing? I think you called it.
He did notice them, but he still hasn't gotten the idea to eat them quite yet.
Well, you're giving him like a 4-course meal and he doesn't even eat it. We should just make him have the dinner and then he'll give us the money that you get at the restaurants, the fancy leaves. And then we can use that to go get the boxes.
Ooh.
That's true.
That is a good idea.
We'll just set up a little restaurant for him.
Okay. So the plan is to make a meal and sell it for money, and then use that money to go buy electronics.
Yes, this is a great plan.
Seems foolproof.
I mean, it's completely
Nothing
fine.
could possibly go wrong here.
Yes, with the goal of becoming famous on the internet so that you can be admired and also take over the world by brainwashing children, which is very evil. And also, I mean, let's face it, what all that technology is for. So not a massive stretch. All right, cool. So how are you going to do that, though?
Well,
because you're an alpaca, a raccoon, a squirrel, and a goose.
Gathering nuts is the easy part. I mean, sometimes I kind of forget where I leave them, but I'm sure I can find more.
So first what we need is a table.
Yes, yes, a romantic table with a tablecloth. And then we just need to invite him to the table with money. We can write a note, right?
Yeah, I can write. Look at my writing. It's great.
Oh, yes, it looks wonderful.
Sure. That'll work out really great.
I
So,
didn't even hold the pen.
so you need to find first a table. So what do you do?
Is there any like construction site near here?
Sure. It's a prosperous suburb. I'm sure that there are some older homes that have been torn down to be replaced by hideous McMansions.
We're gonna need Paisley because I am not carrying a table.
True.
That's fair. Raccoon, could you get the gate?
What?
The gate, it's closed. I need to leave. I need you to get the gate with your hands.
Oh, right. Yes, I have hands.
Yes.
My thumbs.
So first roll, I would like you to roll plus hands to see if you can get the gate open.
Got a 5.
Oh, you know what? Not working. Now, can anyone think of a way, actually, can a couple of you think of ways that you could potentially help?
You gotta jiggle it.
Other than just providing instructions. Like, actually help.
What
Yeah,
if
I mean, I could maybe grab onto it and if it's like stuck a little bit.
No, listen. What if I hop the fence and just pretend to wreak havoc so then your owners, Paisley, have to open the fence and then we make a run for it?
Yeah, but then they know she's gone.
No, they can't catch her. Look how fast she is.
I'm pretty fast.
Okay.
Do you want me to see how fast she is while she just stands there?
You can run around in circles and impress everyone with how fast you are, Paisley.
Oh, sure, I will. Would you like me to roll?
Yeah, might as well. See how good you are with the move.
I have a 8 move.
Yeah, pretty fast. It's hard to get up a good head of speed when you're in a backyard and there's like chicken coops and
I'm doing that thing where I'm trying to look cute while I'm running, so I'm bringing my legs up too far.
Yeah.
So it's not as fast.
Cool.
Maybe you can jump it. Since you're so fast.
You could also try to jump it.
Okay.
They're like a blanket nearby or something. This isn't like a barbed wire fence. It's like a wooden fence, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an electric barbed wire fence.
The hipster that would get an electric barbed wire fence to keep their little petting zoo in.
Yeah, actually, no, they're preppers. We've decided. We're changing tropes.
True.
They're preppers.
Why does a prepper need an alpaca? Any rate, I got a 10 on move to jump the fence.
Ooh, well, 10 or more is awesome. You do exactly what you intend to do and avoid any risk. So as Raccoon is trying to fiddle with the latch, and maybe you had some fried chicken for breakfast out of the garbage, so your little hands are greasy, so it's just kind of slipping. And Dampus is up on top trying to help, mostly getting in the way. Honk is planning on wrecking the backyard. Paisley, full of herself, just leaps over in a single bound. So you are all together. What do you do?
I'd like to give up opening this gate.
Well, yes. I mean, you could continue if you'd like, but...
Let's go to the construction site and see if there's any tables there for us.
All right. Are you walking down the middle of the street? Like a weird little parade? Are you sneaking?
I'm going to sneak from bush to bush.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to follow Raccoon.
Okay.
Paisley, can I just hitch a ride?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Paisley, are you hiding or are you just prancing cutely down the street?
I'm going to prance cutely down the street. I'm pretty sure everyone's kind of, their alpaca's out again, but no one bothers. I'm sure.
Probably.
Oh wait,
so.
no. If Paisley's prancing, then I'm just gonna tail her and like try to be like walk fashion baby as best as I can.
All right. Then let me
Super comfortable.
get a sneak from Raccoon. Let me get a cute from Paisley, and let me get a move from Honk.
I got a 7 in sneak.
Okay.
I got a 13 cute.
Wow.
Big 3 for moves.
3. Perfect. And Dampus is just along for the ride.
Oh yeah, I'm like, racked back, like just, enjoying the nice, soft Paisley.
The good news is that Paisley is so cute that it's very distracting from the fact that geese are not known for being particularly acrobatic on land. And Paisley is really getting into this little trot. And it has a significantly faster land speed than a waddling goose. So Honk is just having a very hard time keeping up, and also probably has a bad reputation around town. So it's not a fun time for Honk. And a few people like try to shoo you as they see you out. It's like, get back to the park. But as soon as they see Paisley, everyone just stops in awe. Like maybe you got brushed earlier this morning and you have a fresh little bow. And like even kids that want to rush up and grab you, the parents like hold them back. It's like, no, you'll mess her up. Just watch her go by. Look at that vision. And Raccoon just kind of like knocks over a couple of, like tumbles into a bag of garbage and, runs into a cat that's sleeping underneath a bush that hisses at you. So, you're making progress. But it's not what one would call an elegant operation. But in a relatively short period of time, you find yourself at a construction site. What do? There are a few people here banging on pieces of wood with some sort of tool. There's music coming out of some sort of box. They're doing that. They're doing that thing where they flap their mouths and make grunting noises at each other, which you probably understand is some sort of communication.
Is there a table near us?
Sure. It seems to have some sort of mechanism in the middle of it.
What if you all get that table and I go between the humans and I distract them by singing as loud as I can?
Or you could steal that metal box.
I could steal that metal box.
What middle box?
The one with the noise box.
Oh, the noise box.
I take the noise box and I run. And then you all take the table and run the other way, and I'll catch up with you after.
Well, that sounds good. We'll just have to clear off the top of it. Looks heavy and unnecessary.
It looks heavy. There are a variety of wood shavings around it. And there's some sort of device protruding from the center of the table. It has a sharp, round disc. And there's a long cord that connects it into another metal box.
Dangerous table.
Yeah, does it look like we could just remove what I presume is the saw from the table, or
You can certainly, you are being very, very cute. So you could probably just very innocently get up close enough to get a look at it. It does look, as you kind of like bend down and eat some grass and look up underneath, it does look like whatever that device is can be lifted out.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need that. We just need the table. So I'll just wander back from this reconnaissance and say, all right, go ahead and start stealing the thing. Raccoon can help me get the thing out of there, and then we'll just lift the table and go. Keep a lookout, Dampus.
Got it.
As soon as Paisley said, go ahead, and Honk Solo takes off.
All right. I would like you. You're not trying to sneak, so I would like you to make a move first. Or roll with move.
That's a 9.
Excellent. So you run and you're making really, really good speed. You got that gooseneck out, probably hissing as you go, running with the wings out. But then you have to get up several steps. So there's a little bit of like hassle as you kind of have to stop and hop and hobble your way up the steps. It's enough that the commotion attracts the attention of the workers. So, what would you like to do? It looks like they're grunting at you in such a way that suggests that they think that you shouldn't be there. So, do you want to just press past them and try to grab the music box or the noise box, or do you want to scare them, threaten them, make them back away?
I'm gonna honk at them and honk at them real loud. I'm gonna see if I can scare them into subordination.
Yes, show them who's boss. Make that happen. Roll plus honk.
That's a 9 for honk.
All right. Well, you do it. Both of the humans there, you make your display and they step back. And the noise, however, attracts another human who picks up a broom and is making its way down from the floor above. These are just like nailed together temporary steps, but you have attracted the attention of another human who is maybe a little bit less subservient to their rightful ruler, the goose, and looks like he's about to come down and cause some trouble. What do you do?
I'm running for the music box.
Excellent. Make a move. Roll plus move.
Wow. Yep. Consistent 9s today. Just
All right.
9s.
Well, the good news is it's battery operated. So you leap up onto the little like stool or whatever they have it sitting on. You grab it in your powerful beak and you kind of flap your way down and then run off with it. In the jostling, however, you have accidentally simultaneously changed the channel and raised the volume enormously. So it is now blaring, what kind of music?
Romance.
Oh, right. Yes, it's romantic hits from like the 70s.
Yes. Perfect. It's my heist music.
70s, like slow 70s sappy power ballads.
Perfect.
Yes. It's a little incongruous from what you were hearing before, which is kind of like contemporary rock and roll. So yeah, now you are racing around this construction site playing, I don't know, Linda Ronstadt or that's not my era nor my genre, but something that's very unsuitable. Luther Vandross, maybe. So it's a somewhat chaotic scene. What is everyone else doing?
I'm on lookout. Doing a very good job on lookout.
Yes.
And I think me and Raccoon are, as soon as the distraction begins, we're going to the table and we're going to try to remove the metal thing and then abscond with the table.
All right. How do you remove the metal thing?
I don't know, kick it? That's my answer to a lot of things. Kicking things.
Yeah, go ahead and maybe if you kick the table over, it'll just fall out. Why don't you make a roll plus move for me?
Well, that's a 3, so 4, unless I was using a major boon.
Do we have a major boon?
We have one of every type right now.
Oh, excellent. You may use a major boon if you would like.
All right, I will.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting that table back up.
All right, that has now become a 10.
Beautiful. Yeah, you just catch it right on the lip and it flips over and this device falls out.
Perfect. Now just load it on my back, I guess.
Right? How is that going to work?
I don't know. Careful balance.
So, Raccoon, how are you helping to get the table situated?
I guess I would climb on the back of Paisley and then help her so it kind of straddles her back.
Okay. So you're going to
stabilize it.
You're gonna try to grab on.
Kind of stabilize it.
Okay,
with
cool.
my hands.
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll plus hands and see how good you are at positioning this thing such that Paisley can just take off with it.
Got a 5.
Ooh.
So all my rolls seem to be consistent with normal C+ content.
We do have another thing, but I guess if someone wanted, am I talking? Yeah, if
Minor would make it a 6, which is a success.
No, 6 is still failure, but someone you do a minor and then have someone help.
Someone can help. Dampus is watching all this and is saying that it's just maybe a little bit more than Raccoon can handle.
Which is hilarious to Dampus, but I guess I could jump down from where I'm at and try to, wherever the table's about to fall, maybe jump on it to give it a tiny little bit of extra weight.
Sure.
Push.
Go ahead and make a move for me.
11.
Cool. That is certainly enough. That plus the minor boon is enough to kick it over to
9,
a 7.
11, 12, 13. So that's 13, actually.
Yes. It is about to slip out of Raccoon's hands. It is teetering just on the balance. It's like you're trying to pull it onto Paisley's back, and it reaches a point where it's almost balanced, and then it's overbalanced, and it's about to come crashing down on you. And then just the little squirrel hops down at just the right time and point to balance it out. You're probably going to want to stay where you are, Dampus, because you're required as a counterbalance. But you have
That's
at least...
unfortunate, because I'm pretty sure I overheard some guy talking about needing some nuts. I'm really curious about what kind of nuts he was talking about.
You're just looking around, very distracted, of course.
I don't see any. What he had in his hand were not nuts. They're weird, shiny things that I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Maybe it's a new kind of metal nut. You never know.
Maybe. I was going to check it out, but...
Yeah, too bad.
Can't handle it.
Because certainly love acorns.
You could try to distract him with acorns. So, Honk, still running around. Paisley, you now have this table precariously balanced on your back.
Time to sneak away.
All right. Go ahead and roll a sneak.
Oh boy. That's a 5. I think that's about right, actually.
I will say that by keeping the table balanced, Dampus and Raccoon can help to kick that up to a 7, which is a success, but barely. So it's more like it doesn't fall off your back. But you do attract some unwanted attention. There is a human woman. You believe her name is Karen. Or the Karen. It's hard to say, but you've heard her referred to by that name by other humans. And she appears to be very interested in what you were all doing. And she mutters something about code violations and, putting animals to work and calling PETA and things like that. And you see her pull one of these small televisions out of her purse and then hold it up and begin tracking you as she continues to speak. I'm here on the corner of Elm Street, and there's an alpaca, and someone is clearly mistreating it. Someone needs to call PETA, blah, blah, blah.
She's one of those small boxes.
I
True.
mean, if you just wanted to help yourself, she's in control of it, though it might be hard to wrest it out of her grasp.
If only Raccoon was better at balancing tables, I could leave here and grab it, but...
It seems like, for the moment at least, you've got it into a good situation. If you leave, you won't be able to help with the next roll, of course, but you can do other stuff. Also, you have probably forgotten that you were supposed to be helping to balance it. Let's be fair.
Very true.
Go get her box.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully she'll just get scared of a squirrel coming at her.
So, Honk, you see that Paisley and crew have now made it around the corner of the block and are out of sight of the humans who are yelling and chasing you with a broom. What do you do?
Do I still have the music box in my
Oh, yeah.
beak?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So they're gone. So I'm gonna look around, see the humans and the human with the broom coming at me. And I think, what would be the evilest thing to do right now? Can I take the music and I throw it at one of the humans in a way to distract them as I sneak away, but also run away?
All right. I'm going to say you're not actually honking, but I think honk is probably the right role here because you're trying to distract and annoy or threaten. So go ahead and make a roll plus honk.
Seven.
All right. So you buy yourself a moment's opportunity. It looks like as you hurl this noise box at them, a couple of them dodge back. The one that has the broom kind of bats it out of the air, and then one of the other one yells like, "Oh, you're gonna break my radio!" So they're momentarily distracted, but they're very momentarily. You think that if you don't break line of sight with them very, very quickly, they might want to chase you. So you better do good on that sneak roll.
Yep. Let's see how well we get out of here. Where's my stats? Eight.
Okay. You are successful in like sneaking between some bushes, and there's some rustling and stuff like that. The guys immediately turn around and start looking for you, but they don't immediately see you. But in your haste to flee, you find yourself in an unfamiliar backyard. There are some children in the backyard, and they are playing a game with balls and hoops and mallets. And you are going to have to make it through. And they immediately see you, and you recognize the looks on their face.
Oh no.
They look at first very cherubic and, like cute little kids. But as soon as they realize they have mallets and balls and hoops and there's a goose running loose in their backyard, they get kind of an evil, conniving look in their eyes. And then they begin to launch croquet balls at you as you need to dodge them to escape the backyard of the terrible children. I'm going to need another move roll. Or you could attempt other things. So you're going to need to dodge them, or you're going to need to convince them that's a terrible idea. But they clearly think they have one up on you.
One up on me?
Yes.
Honk Solo?
Yeah, they clearly have no
Ruler of the
idea who you
world?
are. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Just because I'm a little ruffled because I had to go through some bushes. No. I'm going to tell them who is in control here.
Excellent.
And I'm going to honk at them to
Do it.
assert myself.
Do it.
Back again with the 9s.
All right.
Oh, wait. 10.
Excellent. So you suss the situation out very clearly. I mean, evil mastermind to evil mastermind, you recognize their game. So you maybe pretend like you do a little hobbling walk, maybe hold one of your wings out at an angle to look kind of weak and unassuming, hoping that they'll get closer, and in fact they do. Like maybe one of them knocks one of the croquet balls near you and you act afraid of it, like you're confused and you don't know what's going on, which just triggers their interest even more. So they get very, very close to you. And then like a dragon, you do the wings out and the hissing and the snapping with your neck. I mean, you can put an eye out. And they are reminded why children shouldn't be anywhere near geese, because geese are terrifying. And you do. You have the satisfaction of watching the little boy, the seat of the little boy's pants darken as he runs screaming. The little girl stumbles back and falls into a pool of mud and begins to cry immediately. You hear adult humans beginning to yell from the house, but you have bought yourself enough of a distraction that you can sneak out the little gate and rejoin your friends on your journey back to the neighborhood where you started. So you have a table. I'm going to say you're able to get it back to wherever you want it to be.
Probably Dampa's neighbor's yard,
Okay.
right? Because he can just go out to eat then.
Okay. So
Am I
yes.
not grabbing that lady's phone?
Oh yes, that's right. Forgot about that. Thank you. So how would you like to see if you could acquire the phone?
Oh, I was just gonna run up and grab it.
All right, that's going to be a move.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was fully expecting to fail that and her drop it and break it. That was what I was expecting to happen.
Wow, that's not what happened though. So you run up to her, right? Little hands up, little tail flapping behind you, and she at first doesn't notice you, and then she looks down and sees you and just kind of like kicks one of her high-heeled feet out at you, like, get away. And you take the opportunity to hop onto her shoe and then claw your way up her leg, putting big old runs in her pantyhose, climb up her pantsuit, up the back. Meanwhile, she's screaming and screeching, I'm being attacked, call the police. Get up into her well-coiffed hair, and then as she is batting at you with the small television, you just reach out, grab it, sink your teeth into it, and then scamper away with her phone. She, meanwhile, is, I've been assaulted, blah, 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 making a big deal out of it. But does not have the composure to chase after you. And probably with the loss of her telephone has no idea what to do in life with herself. So she is now a wreck on the sidewalk, making a big production out of being a victim. Meanwhile, you scamper off with her phone. So congratulations, job well done. Now you have a table and a phone. How that's going to help you? The plan is coming together perfectly. Now what do you do?
In the restaurants, they like set the table. Like there's usually like something on top of the table. That'll probably help because I don't usually think there's like holes like that in the middle of the table.
Yeah, we'll just have to cover that up. Good as new. Let's see. Where could we get a cloth? Where do I know cloths live?
Is there anyone picnicking at the park?
People that hang their laundry up.
It's a little early in the day. And I think you could search around to see if there's anyone with laundry that's hung up. Paisley knows for sure where humans go to get cloth. because they wear cloth.
Oh, yeah.
Paisley knows exactly where the shops are.
But don't
So-
we need money?
Well,
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, I could borrow one of his cloths probably from his place. I just really don't want him to get confused because, like I said, he's a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
well, and the humans probably have cloths inside their house. So it is either explore to see if you can find, either in the trash or in someone's backyard, or go where you know for sure there is. And maybe humans tend to throw a lot of things away. It's entirely possible that in the trash near the shops there might be something you could use, or you could break into one of the humans' homes.
Well, we could go shopping. Just down the road, pop in, pop out, get what we need.
Leave some leaves if you really want to. I don't think we have to, but
Well, it's always good to pay for goods and services that they're using. I'm sure they accept any currency that we have.
I have leaves.
Yes, that's exactly the type that I think they'll accept.
Perfect.
All right. Let's go.
I will say also, Paisley for sure knows that humans use magic cards for many of their transactions. Some of them tend to exchange things that look kind of like leaves, but many of them use magic cards with little shiny speckles on them. Some of them are different colors. But I'm sure that with your interest in commerce, you probably have observed this. Just throw it out there. So, what do you do? Where do you go? What's the plan?
Let's go to the store.
All right. Only a few blocks away. You do have to cross a somewhat busy road, but it's fine. People are used to, with the park being nearby, people are used to having to stop for the ducks and stuff. Honk's mortal enemies, the ducks. Yeah.
it's a very long feud between their people and mine. Our families have been intertwined since the beginning of time.
Yes. It's probably why you want to take over the suburb, is so that you can finally expunge the foulness that is the ducks. Because everyone thinks the ducks are super cute.
Which they're not. They get all the good bread. What are we supposed to get? The bad bread? I don't think so.
Exactly. So, but yeah, it's sufficient. And with Paisley's help, being larger and cuter than the rest, you're able to cross the road. So you're now in a little bit of I wouldn't even call it a strip mall. It's nicer than that. It's just a few little boutique shops. There's like a jewelry store with sparklies. There's a couple of clothing stores. There is there's a cooking store.
Ooh, is there a Target? I've heard my neighbor talk about going to Target quite a bit.
Target is some faraway land that you have never seen. Perhaps Raccoon has heard tales of the bounty that can be found in the faraway land of Target from some of his raccoon friends, but none of you none of you know precisely where it is, and you might even think it's mythical.
Punk's not convinced Tarjay exists.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true.
No.
And there is a store that has a silver apple with a bite out of it. It's the only sign. So you've got electronics, you have
That's
cookware,
probably the cookie
and
store.
Yeah,
Well-
we gotta go there because you're gonna try to make
With
the
apple.
acorns as good as they can be.
Right.
Yes.
If I mix it with other foods he knows.
Then he might be tricked into eating it, and then he'll like
Exactly.
it more.
yep. And it's one of these gourmet stores that has like fancy cookware, and it does have cloth, a variety of different cloth.
Well, I was talking about the apple. The apple is clearly the cooking store.
The silver
You
apple with the
you would
bite taken
think
out.
so, but humans are weird because as you peek in, there's no food in there. It's a bunch of other types of small televisions, and there's a bunch of people in there.
Well, I already got the small television.
You don't know how to use it though.
No.
I will say you do observe someone like helping another human figure out how to use the device.
Does this have an apple symbol on it?
Sure.
Oh.
What if I
If I sneak in and watch how it works, would that help you, Dampus?
Yeah, I think maybe I keep seeing people put their thumbs on it. I don't have one of those, so you might have to operate this.
It's
I
true.
am good at operating things, especially with my hands.
It's true. So maybe Raccoon needs to sneak in and figure out how to, I guess, reset the phone so you can use your own thumbprint. Sure, why not?
Exactly. Normal raccoon behavior.
Yeah, like a raccoon does.
I don't want to carry this anyway. It's really heavy, so he can carry it now.
Awesome.
before we do that, can Honk try to like, I don't know, like nose at it or something? Because earlier when I grabbed the other weird sparkly human thing, it started playing different music. So what if this time I do the same thing? Maybe it'll play music again.
Sure. Why not? I think that's probably a move. A roll plus move.
Big 3.
Yeah, no. You just peck at it. It does start making a sound. But then it stops. It makes a sound and then a picture shows up and then the picture goes away and it goes dark again. And then you try it again and it seems like maybe that was just coincidental.
I tried, guys. I tried.
Maybe someone is calling it. So, what's the plan? You have clothing stores, you have gourmet store, you have Apple store. Raccoon is going to sneak into the Apple store and see if he can figure out how to make the phone work. What is everyone else doing?
We could split into teams. So Raccoon can obviously do the phone stuff or the little television stuff. Paisley's gonna need some help getting the cloth probably. So maybe Honk goes with Paisley for the cloth. And then I can maybe look around the gourmet stuff, see what I can, make I probably know what's good with acorns.
Yeah, find some appetizers. I heard those are all the rage.
Appetizers. Okay.
Yeah,
Appa who?
Apples.
apples.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Appetizers, yeah.
appetizers. Yes.
Sure. All right. Let's do... so Paisley and Honk are going together?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Nothing bad could possibly happen.
we'll do clothing store, gourmet store, Apple store, because that's the order that they're in from whatever right to left in this little shop area. So, what do you do? How do you approach going into the clothing store?
Well, Honk, do we want to just sneak in? I'm a little noticeable, I think. Or should we look to see if there's any spare cloth in the back and then we can pretend to be a person and go back in? They like you to be clothed, not naked. It's a little weird.
That is true. Maybe we can find like one of those jaquettes that they all like to wear so much, and then I can like get on top of you and then we can pretend to be a human.
Yes, that sounds nice. We'll just go around back and see if they have anything.
All right. We'll say that in fact there is maybe either some stuff that was on consignment is being taken in or being shipped out, but there is a metal frame that has some things on hangers hanging from it.
Yeah.
And Sure, there's probably a trench coat of some kind. Oh no. Calf length faux fur coat.
Perfect. I'll just slip this on.
Yeah, that's gonna need a move roll because none of you have hands.
What if I help by tugging it up with
Yeah,
my
I
mouth?
think that would absolutely help. I think that'll add a 1 to Paisley's roll.
So I rolled a 4.
Plus your move, which is
Yeah, that's with my move.
Oh, so that's 5.
Yep.
Yeah. So that doesn't work. But it makes a lot of noise. There's a lot of jangling and clanking as there's some empty coat hangers on this metal rod, and they make a very loud noise as you kind of just reach up and yank the fur coat off. And a young man pops his head out and looks at you and is just completely shocked to see an alpaca in basically the back alley of this little shop.
Oh, thanks for getting the door, dear. And I'm just going to be cute as I just mosey past him into the shop.
All right.
I am hiding behind Paisley,
Okay.
trying to be as inconspicuous as possible,
Yes.
sneaking on in.
I need a roll plus cute and a roll plus sneak.
Well, I rolled the snake eyes.
Oh
You
no.
don't get any clothes.
But we got some boons.
I think I'll use a boon on this one.
Okay. And so you got a bane. Love it.
You have a lot of banes whenever you're ready.
Okay.
That's a 12 then.
Ooh. He just is stunned by your adorableness. And you bat those long lashes at him. And he can see that you want to come in. He's like, oh yeah, we can't have you out here in the street. Come on in. See if I can find a collar on you or something, and we can call your owners. Can't have you wandering around the streets. What'd you get on the sneak there, Hunk?
5. Oh, 6. I get a +1. 6.
Do we have one minor boon that you could spend to turn that into a 7.
I'll take it.
Yep.
All right. Well, he is so busy. Like he ushers or allows Paisley to come in, and then he's like, "Oh, I wonder if you're." Like he thinks like, "Oh, I wonder if your owners are nearby." So he steps out for a second to look around, and then Hunk just kind of snakes around the corner. Nope, no one out here. And then he comes back and he locks the door. That's the risky downside. Oh yeah, can't have you getting out. And then he will, maybe move some boxes out of the way so that you have a little bit of a space. You just stay right here, cutie, and then I'm going to go call around and see if we can't find out who your owner is. And then he makes his way through another door. This door is just a double door on hinges, though.
Cool.
But you are now locked into the storeroom. There are lots of clothes and stuff in here, though.
Well, let's just load up then.
Yeah. As sneakily as possible. Actually, I want to see if I can find the longest, prettiest, most luxurious picnic-looking tablecloth-esque thing I can find. Maybe a wedding veil of sorts if it's here, because I think
Sure.
that'd be funny.
Sure. Someone's grandma's wedding veil.
Mhm.
Handmade lace. Yes.
No.
Why not? Yeah, there are a variety of things like long shawls, ponchos, and a variety of materials. There are some more coats. There are hats. There are scarves.
I do want the hats and scarves. As many as I can, I don't know, fit in my mouth.
Well, let's give that a move for
Okay.
each of you to see how good you are at recovering these things. I think now there are so many options now that you're going to wind up with some stuff, but we'll see how much ruckus you make and how good you are at retrieving useful items.
I
I'm
got
making
an
a-
8.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Oh, and we are fresh out of minor boons, if I'm not mistaken. Honk, is there a way
Oh
that...
wait, no, wait. There's one minor boon. I'll
Okay.
just take that.
All right. Cool. So we're out of minor boons, but that rolls it up to a success. So, yeah, it takes a while. And the frilly hat that you were really excited about just falls to the ground. And then you wind up, and you're in trying to get it onto your head, you just stomp all over it. So unfortunately, that one is not. But you do wind up with, we'll say, a faux Chanel Jackie O pillbox that just sits on very nicely. It's got a little bit of a like one of those veils that can't really cover your face, so it's very stylish and very chic. And a lovely like cashmere shawl maybe that you kind of have just like with your teeth kind of flopped over your back. It looks a little bit more like a saddle blanket, but you feel very pretty. And Honk has wadded up this length of lace. But it's taken some time, and you can hear through the double doors some humans talking. All right. Put a pin in that. The gourmet shop.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Sneaking in.
Make the roll.
6, 7, 8, 9. I forgot what my sneak is.
Your sneak is +1.
10.
10. Excellent. So you time it perfectly. There's a family that is exiting. And you wait. And only like maybe only the very youngest actually sees you. And just kind of like points and laughs. But none of the adults are paying attention. So you're able to sneak in and scurry around behind the cabinets and shelves. So what precisely are you looking for?
Looking for things I can fit in my cheeks that I can leave with. So I don't know if there's any like, maybe I'll go around. If this is like, there's food here, right?
Yeah.
Or can I smell food? Okay. I'll probably like sniff out some things and see if I can't find things that smell good. And I'll just store them all in my cheeks
Well,
until I'm satisfied.
yes. And you might have to carry, because your cheeks can hold a lot, but probably not a lot for a human. So you might actually have to carry
Right.
some things. But, well, there is a cheese board. It looks like it is out for the humans to try. So there's even like a wheel of cheese that's out. There are some packets that smell like popcorn. And they have like a sweet smell to them too. And as you kind of scrabble on the cellophane, you can see that there's popcorn and some sort of dark, silky looking substance coating the popcorn that smells very delicious and sweet. And there's some nuts in there.
Well, it's already mixed with nuts. So if I just add a few acorns, like, there we go.
Yeah. Gourmet chocolate popcorn.
How big is it? Is it like...
It's
easy
big
enough
enough
for
that
me
you
to
can,
carry?
yeah, you can drag it out, but it's larger than you are, but it's very light.
Mhm. Okay. Are there any other little who's it, what's it's that I can just,
Yeah, we can just say that because you have the hoard ability, you just stuff your cheeks with random stuff. And then if it turns out later that you need something, you can just roll plus hoard and see if you happen to stuff it into your cheeks.
I'm going for that popcorn though to drag out.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me either a move to do it quickly and get away, or a sneak.
I'm gonna do move because I get +2 in move.
I was gonna say you will be seen.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8.
All right. So you are not only seen like out of the corner of someone's eyes, but someone definitely sees a squirrel rushing out the front door, dragging a big old bag of gourmet popcorn. with chocolate and nuts. So there's going to be a chase scene. All right.
Uh-oh.
Raccoon,
Yep. That's
what is
me.
your plan?
I'm gonna sneak in.
All right.
And I'm gonna watch and probably use my hands to mimic the motions to reset the phone or unlock.
All right. Well, go ahead and see how sneaky you are first.
I'm very sneaky. I am raccoon. I got a 13.
Oh, you are. But you're large. Large-ish.
What?
You're large-ish. There's the size of a small dog or a big cat.
Been
So,
rating the trash cans a little too much there.
so we'll say, because it's silly, you make your way in. Again, you're big enough that you can kind of like shoulder the door open. You make your way in, and there's someone at a counter. It is a older human woman, and she has very, very thick glasses. And she sees you, and she comes over to you, and you're expecting, oh no. No one else notices, but she just happened to be looking at the door, and she sees you, and she reaches down and picks you up. And she starts petting you. Oh, are you a lost kitty? Well, you stay with me. We'll make sure that you're safe. I probably have some tuna left from lunch. So, and we'll say that your stealthiness is that you know enough about cats to...
Meow.
Yeah, exactly. To make a reasonable facsimile of a meow noise. So she will take you into a little back area and put down a saucer of milk and a little bit of tuna on a plate for you and pet you and call you a pretty kitty. And then someone will yell at her, Marge, get back out here. So you are left basically to your own devices, and you get some stinky tuna out of it. So very successful.
Okay.
And I will say that from your vantage point, you have a good line of sight to the kind of back area where people have questions. So let's make a hands roll just to see how good you are at both figuring it out and then actually executing the maneuver.
Got a 9.
All right. You are successful. You, however, weren't expecting all the noises that the phone would make. So, it does attract attention. So what would you like to do, knowing that the young man that was in the back showing one of the customers how to reset the phone, hears another one going off and says, hold on a second, let me go check this out, and is coming toward you. What do you do?
Well, what else is around me?
It's a storeroom. There is probably an exit sign. By fire code, they have to have at least 2 exits. So you could run past him, you could hide, you could try to bust your way out the back door. There's lots of different options. You could climb up on a stack of boxes and then knock them over on top of him.
That's more of a honk move than me. I will attempt to go out the back door.
All right, make a move.
Seven.
All right. It is successful, but just barely.
Yes.
So Raccoon runs over, scurries over, and tries to push the door open, which doesn't work. And then you run back and you try to throw yourself at it, and it makes a little bit of a hollow thudding sound, and you can hear that human getting closer, and then the lights come on. And in a flash of inspiration, you realize that the big silver bar across the front, you've seen humans push on that as a way of getting in and out of doors. So you leap and with all of your weight push on that. And it bangs open just enough for you to scurry out. Also, the most annoying screeching sound at very high volume begins to emit from the store.
Oh, the store must be hungry.
It's the fire alarm. So you've set off the fire exit alert. Everyone hears this. So you, Dampus, hear this as you are trying to scurry away from the humans that are about to start chasing you because they've seen you. What does everyone do?
Oh,
I mean, you're a couple of
sounds-
stores over, Honk and Paisley, but you absolutely hear this loud noise.
Oh, Honk, it sounds like it's about time for us to leave. It looks like this door is stuck. I've tried it a couple times. See if you can make a distraction so we can exit the store from the front.
I kind of ha 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 ha. I put down the lace and I go, and I run back to like the back exit where the guy locked the door, and I just start honking as loud as I can to be as much of a nuisance as I can. The hope is for him to unlock the door to kick me out. But gives Paisley enough time to go out through the front door looking all cute.
Okay.
No one questions Paisley. She's adorable.
That's true. All right. Well, go ahead and make a roll plus Honk.
That's a 5.
You make a lot of noise, but that alarm is very, very loud.
Damn it.
And no one comes.
I start running around the legs of the employees.
So you're just going to run out there and... Okay. Well, go ahead and make another roll with Honk then.
Oh, much better. 10.
Yeah. People are looking a little bit confused. Like maybe that same young man is now looking out the front door of this shop, looking down towards the electronics store. And so people are maybe a little bit distracted, and then all of a sudden, just goose everywhere.
Goose and honking just right up in between their legs.
And that combined with the alarm convinces everyone that it's not a fire, it's a goose attack. So they flee the store.
My brethren, they rise with me.
They're convinced that geese have invaded all the stores, and that's why the alarm went off.
Well, I'll just grab that lace up and saunter out the store then.
And then the young man goes, "Oh, be careful, there's geese." As you toddle on by, and then it's like, is she wearing a pillbox hat? It's very fashionable, though. So yes,
It is. I'll prop the door open for Honk on the way out.
Yes. So three of you have caused a massive ruckus, but are not currently being pursued. One of you, however, has some humans hot on their tail. And I would say that everyone can see this. You can see
I'm trying to get somewhere safe to store this
squirrel
popcorn.
kind of bounding across the street, dragging this massive bag of gourmet popcorn.
Is there a tree or a telephone pole or something that I can...
Sounds like a
Camper
move
up
roll
with
to
it?
me.
All right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dude,
Yep.
these little dice are definitely going to be my go-to.
Awesome. Yep. So you scamper up a light pole.
I'm gonna
And
get for it eventually.
yes, and the crowd that is not now running screaming in the middle of the street about goose attack. And the people like from the Apple store like filing out was somewhat, that over there they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but we got to get you out. The fire trucks will be here soon." The people who aren't engaged in that are now staring up at an angry shop owner pointing up, "That squirrel stole my popcorn." What do you do? What does everyone do?
I honk at the guy. I just continue from my store. I'm just honking all the way over.
Yep. Go ahead and make a roll plus honk. You're going to try to intimidate this guy and distract him. Furthering the goose attack conspiracy theories that are going to grow up around town.
There we go. 13.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. He's not paying attention. And then he looks over at the crowd from the clothing store who are it's like, goose attack? What are you talking about? And they're like, no, it was a goose. It was horrible. It was like 10 of them. It was so loud. And like, that's crazy, people. And then it's like, no, there it is. And then you just like rush at him. A lot of folks on the periphery, people who may be shopping around the corner or at, maybe they're dining outside a little bistro, because of the massive ruckus you're causing, you see a number of these humans pull out their little small televisions and start holding them up towards you and tracking you.
Oh, did Raccoon lose the first one? Or does he still have that?
The first...
Like, because he had the phone.
He's got it.
phone.
He's got it, and he's reset it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep, he got it, and he reset it. So it now will operate with his raccoon thumbprint.
I have a lot of things. Don't worry.
Because all the phones are pointed at me while I'm causing a ruckus, I do stop like mid pose and I address my subjects and I start saying in goose.
Yes.
Behold your new ruler. Bow to me as you will eventually do. And all they hear is honk 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 honk.
But somehow they get it, right?
Yes, of course they have to.
They're picking up what you're putting down, even if they don't understand it or believe it. They're picking up the gist of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and none of them seem well pleased. What does everyone do? There's a rapid forming crowd being attracted by the various different alarms and
Dampus is at the top of a street light. I'll just call up to, all right, dear, I think we're done shopping. If you just want to hop on down.
Okay. I can attempt to hop onto Paisley or get away.
I think that's something
so
that's something you can just do, right?
Okay, perfect.
Because you're a squirrel. But Paisley, I'm going to need you to make a move because you're going to have to run.
Oh yeah, I do need to run. It's time to go. Oh, that's good. 11.
Yeah,
we're going.
So as Honk is delivering their manifesto to their subjects, and as Raccoon is kind of slinking out, trying to find a way to escape, you just see Dampus leap on Paisley's back, right behind the pillbox hat, and then Paisley takes off at full gallop, trailing this long bridal veil behind her. Vanishes into the distance. How are Raccoon and Honk trying to escape?
Well, I think I would have exited, see Honk making a scene and doing Honk's normal thing.
And just snuck off.
Just snuck off.
Yeah, let's see how good you are at it. That's a sneak.
That is an 11.
Yeah, you're super sneaky. And also Honk is very distracting.
Yes.
So Honk, all eyes are on you. And at first, you're probably very pleased because they have looks of confusion and fear in their faces. But after a few moments, several of them, particularly the bigger humans, start to kind of advance towards you, making motions with their arms. Like maybe you had them stunned with your manifesto momentarily, but they're starting to show some signs of resistance. What do you do?
A good evil leader knows when it's time to cut your losses so you can live to be evil another day.
Yes.
And so I'm while they're all still relatively stunned, I think I'm just gonna see if I can run into like a nearby foliage and like sneak my way back to where I know everyone's meeting up. Back to Paisley's place.
Okay. Yeah, and
Can
you
you
know,
not fly?
geese can fly.
Geese can
Okay.
fly. Yeah.
I mean,
if I can
You just,
fly,
like, run.
They're-
Yeah, you
yeah,
can
they're
fly
not.
for
They're
it.
not. Yeah, they're not super good at it, but you can certainly get a running start and flap your way off the ground.
yeah.
Uh,
I think I'm gonna do one of those.
okay.
You're like a bird, you always fly away.
Yes.
I just had the image of a Canadian goose flying towards me and the terror.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you it does take a good long ways of you either running or on water flapping to like get yourself airborne. So it's a combination run, hop, flap. But yeah, you're on a street. So and folks will probably get out of your way as you start to go. I mean, your geese wingspan is like what, 5 feet?
You're
big. So so go ahead and we'll make that a move for you, which is not your strong suit.
It really isn't. I do a whole lot of moving for someone who's not great at it.
Give it a roll.
8.
All right. Well, you are successful. You do. You take off. Maybe like clipping making a few of the more aggressive humans duck as you flap and honk right next to their heads. The complication is a couple of them. You don't know why. Maybe they're bored, but a couple of them are running after you. Like they got eyes on you, and a couple of them take off running as if they're going to chase you.
I reroute and I'm going to the park first.
All right. Go ahead and make another move to see if you can lose them.
And another 8.
Okay, yeah, they're. I mean, you can fly faster than they can run, but you're also kind of up high, so you get a decent ways, but you can still hear yelling. So that might cause complications later. But you can go wherever you want to go. You just have a sense that they probably have an idea of the direction that you're heading, and at least a couple of them are interested in finding out what's going on with this goose that's attacking the local shopping center.
And I head over to Paisley's place because I can't take them to my place because then they'll find all my evil plans. Which will be a hassle. So it's like they can come over for dinner too.
All right. I would like you to roll sneak then, because it's not so much that you're trying to. It's more like you're being sneaky, not just that you're being stealthy.
It's a 5.
We have major boons if you would like to re-roll that. And
Yeah,
by the
I'll
way,
re-roll
you don't
it.
have to re-roll both. Like if that was a 4 and a 1, you could keep the 4 and just re-roll the 1.
If it was a 2 and a 1.
Okay, you want to re-roll both of them then.
And how do I? Is there something I do when I use a boon?
No,
I'm keeping track of it.
Mish will keep track of
Awesome.
it.
Much better. That's a 7.
Cool. So, it's a little bit risky because as you make your way into Paisley's backyard, the chickens start freaking out. And if there's anything you hate worse than ducks, it's chickens. Right? They're not even good for being subjects.
No, they just sit there, and then they peck at the ground. They don't even listen.
Right? They're just the worst. But they start making a ruckus, which attracts the humans that are Paisley's keepers. And you can hear them in the house like they're, go check on the chickens. And there's nowhere like for you to hide. But you then hear the front doorbell of Paisley's humans' house. And you hear, and chickens have short memories. They just kind of freak out for a second and they go back to scratching in the dirt.
Exactly. Terrible.
And as you sneak around the side of the house, you can see a confrontation happening between the humans that were chasing you and Paisley's keepers. Something about tracking a dangerous goose and how you're not supposed to keep that kind of animal and how it was like attacking children. It's getting very dramatic, and a very dramatic kind of neighbor on neighbor confrontation happening in the front yard, which does provide enough of a distraction for you to sneak off.
Dramatic. I didn't even bite anyone, but okay.
Yeah. But now everybody, everyone who is anywhere near any place you've been is aware that there's a goose on the rampage. Whether they believe it or not is another question. So what happens now?
I assume Paisley and us, we're all headed back to my place.
Yes, we have the tablecloth. We got some extra clothes, just so we'll just get the table set, and you have some appetizers.
I couldn't specifically find appetizers, but I found some random things that might work instead.
I'm sure it's fine.
As long as the main meal, I think it'll be okay.
All right. Well, yes. Here's raccoon. Well, once we get there, we'll just get the table set up, and Dampus, you can go get the main course, and then we'll just summon your neighbor to dinner.
Now,
I would like to offer a handful of tuna to them.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you have a handful of tuna.
You just hold on to that. I don't have any hands, so.
Dampus, will this go good with your nuts?
I mean, I'm not super into tuna personally. So I don't know.
Wait, does your friend?
But maybe it can be a side dish.
Okay.
Yeah, side dish.
All right. So it'll be now. Certainly, at least one of you remembers that the goal of this was not just to serve a meal, but to actually charge for it, for money. But that may no longer be required.
We already got the phone, the little television.
You got the little television. So are you going to try to find a way to see if you can make your neighbor part with some cash? Or is it really just about serving the meal at this point?
Well, for me, it's about serving for the meal. But they might, if they want, the fancy leaves. I mean, if he doesn't tip after, I'm sure they could acquire it some other way.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we have a fancy box, and I guess it works. But I mean, if he does have money, I wouldn't say no to it. We'll figure it out when dinner happens.
Well,
I mean, he should pay for it. I mean, we went through a lot to make this delicious meal.
Yes, it is a very good courtesy.
yes. So you're going to rely on your neighbor to just figure it out and leave some money on the table?
I mean, that's what humans normally do, right? They just leave the money on the table.
Well, but they typically look at a piece of paper. Like you've seen them out in the cafe eating. Typically, the person that brings them the food also gives them a piece of paper. And in response to that, they hand over the magic card and some money or all money.
Weird. Why do they do that and then also leave money on the table?
Humans, man.
Yeah.
They're super weird.
I mean, I think Honk Solo talked about being able to write the piece of paper part. Whenever, whatever they're...
Oh, yeah, you're all together.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, if Honk, on the way from Paisley's place to Dampus's neighbor's place,
my place.
Or your place, sorry, can I, I don't know, rifle through a trash can to find some paper?
Yeah, for sure. You rifle through a trash can and you find some paper and roll 2 6s for me. Roll them in like in order because we're looking for a random roll of 11 to 66.
I've got 64.
64. Ah, that's broken crayons. For real,
Perfect.
I'm looking at the table. So you find not only some pieces of paper, but some broken crayons.
Perfect. As everyone's talking about like stuff, Honk is like making a sign with the broken crayons and the paper, which I'm sure is in pristine condition.
Yes.
I've only ever seen paper like this, so
Go ahead and make a move roll for me, just as a way of seeing how good you are at. Well, actually, it could be sneak because you're trying to kind of like disguise your scratchings as if they're writing.
I'll take sneak because that makes it a 10.
Ooh. So somehow you have added at least one number and a dollar sign to your repertoire of squares, circles, and sort of triangles that you can draw. So somehow, by genius or by accident, you have written something that's basically like, $2 or who knows what. But some indication that someone might look at it and go, oh, this is clearly I'm supposed to leave some money. Cool.
I made sure to use what I thought was green because all their money is green.
That's true. So,
That's the problem with the leaves. They weren't green.
Brown leaves. That's why he didn't take them. I'm sure that's why. So as Dampus, Paisley, and Raccoon are having a conversation about whether to charge and how that's going to happen, Hunk saunters up, ready with the bill, as it were, or the sign. And although none of you actually speaks or writes English, you know enough to recognize that it looks familiar. It looks like the kind of scratches that the humans pay attention to. So now, what do you do?
Raccoon, could you help me set the table? We need to get the tablecloth on there, and I keep biting holes in it.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Go ahead and make a hands roll. See how good you are.
9.
Oh, quite good. I mean, it's a little. I mean, it's very delicate in your little claws, so maybe it's getting a little bit tattered from being chewed and then dragged through the streets by Paisley, and then your less than delicate paws. But you certainly cover this table and make it look less like a table saw that's had the saw removed. Who is setting up the appetizing meal?
I would, but I need a plate or something to set the stuff on.
We need a rock.
I can get you a cylinder lid.
Oh, that's a good
There we
idea.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Oh.
That's easy enough. I mean, this is literally your jam.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
So an overturned garbage can lid.
Can I also make a roll to try to get some extra seeds from there's this like bird feeder thing. It's a squirrel feeder, but for some reason the birds have a really easy time getting to it, and me it's more like an obstacle course.
Sure.
Just because they like to make a game out of it, but it's for me.
Yeah, sure. Make a move.
4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Yeah, you get some. We'll say some unhulled sunflower seeds. You can get some of those and jam them into your mouth with whatever else is in there.
Excellent.
You probably also, I'm assuming, want to put some acorns in it. I mean, isn't that the whole point?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The whole point is to put the acorns in there, and then that way it's like mixed in so he understands it's food and it's a meal.
Got it.
I also taste the acorns.
I would like you to make a hoard roll.
Oh, 12.
Haha.
Oh, which is good because hoard is +0.
Yes. So you retrieve some various nuts and seeds. You also spit out a variety of other things, which include some like candied fruits and other just random stuff. Probably like a bottle opener that you somehow got in there. Just it's kind of a smorgasbord. Some slightly soggy cheese, and you remember where one of your acorn stashes is, and you're able to put a pile, or even smarter than that, you're able to disperse the acorns throughout this largely appetizing kind of candied popcorn, and then like hide them underneath, like hiding a pill in dog food. Cool. So it looks, I mean, it's garbage can lid on a table saw table with a dirty ripped lace on top of it, but it is obvious that there's a sign next to it. So as you all step back and look, it's pretty clear what the intent is.
Oh, raccoon, take a picture of it with the box. All the kids do that all the time when they grab a snack, you know?
Oh, yes.
And then we can show it to our audience.
Yes, you can
We
post
can
it.
put it on the gram.
Yes, the gram.
Yes.
Oh, can I drag the hose over as well, just to make sure in case they need a drink?
Yeah, sure. Easy enough.
Just so it's
It's
close
very
by.
thoughtful. Yes, it's a full
Perfect.
course meal with drinks and you name it. Cool. So Raccoon, make a hands roll for me to see how good you are at taking a group selfie and then
12.
posting it.
I got a 12.
Aha! You are
Sixes.
so good that you figure out how to actually shoot a video. And so you make maybe the world's first animal created TikTok and post it. And you're also smart enough to realize that maybe it's something about the algo or the fact that Paisley's super cute. But as you're waiting for the others to finish their preparations and for a tiny squirrel to drag a hose, it's getting a lot of views. I mean, you're not sure what that means, but you're seeing, it's like, you're getting the sense that it's good. People like this. It's also geotagged, but that's another situation. All right. So you have, to the best of your ability, set the table and publicized this lovely event. What happens
there's
now?
A raccoon's just busy looking at all the little symbols that are floating up on it. What is this symbol? It looks like a corgi's butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of that. Lots of cat faces. Lots of animal faces with hearts around them. It all seems to be very positive. So,
Campus, don't you gotta call your neighbor?
Oh, he'll get here.
Is he home?
I might
No,
have
he's
to
not
ring the
home.
doorbell.
He's
Oh,
on
no, he's not
vacation.
home. Okay.
He's on
Oh,
vacation
okay.
for a week. You failed. No. You know that he comes outside, either to interact with you and yell your name at you, which you take as a sign of fond friendship. It's
Yeah,
typically
he just has that weird human accent when he says it.
yes. It's typically when you're eating nuts on a branch above his car that he comes out and says your name to you.
Okay. I'll let me go get his attention.
Okay.
So I'll scamper up there with a little bit of the food to show him like, hey, like, you want some of this? Get on the branch. I'm a little messy with it, so I end up dropping a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And you see the curtain in the house twitch from the sound of the acorns hitting the roof of his car. I mean, he could park it in the garage, but whatever. As you said, he's a little slow. And then he comes bursting out the front door, mustache bristling, and begins yelling your name at you. And then, because of course he does, he immediately catches sight of the table with the popcorn and stuff in it. Sure. Looks kind of confused, shakes a fist at you, which you know to be a sign of friendship.
yeah,
And then, and maybe you stopped eating because you're just so like enwrapped, waiting to see what happens next. He goes back. He goes back in the house. Comes back with a wad of pieces of green paper. Looks at this, kind of smells it. Puts down some of the wads of paper. Grabs a big handful. Starts chomping. He looks happy.
Yes.
Got little bits of popcorn and chocolate in his big mustache. Goes in for another bite. Chomps down, looks happy, and then kind of gets a very alarmed look on his face and starts going because there's an acorn in
he's
there.
so happy.
I think he likes it too much. He ate too fast.
Maybe he's got to drink some
Paisley, kick
water.
him.
Kick him in the back.
So, how do you save your neighbor's life who is now choking on an acorn?
A drink of water. A drink of water should definitely help.
Yeah, Paisley. No, Paisley, kick him in the back. I'll get the hose.
I will use the box to watch him.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna
Raccoon,
kick
can
him in
you
the back.
turn on the hose?
I'm busy. I have to watch him with the box.
Yes.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah, you
by-
are correct.
Yeah. So you're live streaming it. Cool. That's great.
Wait, if you started the watching, I can hold it, and then you can turn on the hose. You can turn on the water.
Okay, I'll try to turn my best to turn the faucet.
Oh yeah, you can turn the faucet. Honk can aim the hose. That's
Okay.
something certainly.
Okay,
and
and I will kick him in the back.
Okay. I need rolls all around to see how successful this whole situation is, including the live stream.
Okay, what is this plus? Because I got a 6.
So for you, it is
Move.
going to be move.
8.
Cool. For Paisley, it's probably also going to be move.
I also got an 8.
For Honk, it's probably going to be move.
I got a 5.
Okay. And then for Raccoon, it's going to be a hands.
Oh man,
got a
I'm
10.
gonna
10. Excellent. So
I was gonna-
Raccoon captures a very, very, very like a nice panoramic shot, like captures all the evidence. I mean, all the detail of this life-saving procedure that looks like a bunch of animals ganging up to murder a guy. And in fact, yes, Dampus is able to turn on the water. Honk, however, is less capable of holding onto the now spraying hose. So the first thing we see is the guy getting absolutely doused in the face, up the nose with a hose that a squirrel is busy turning on. And then Paisley kicks the crap out of him. And he goes flying, lands face first, rolls over onto his back, and then coughs out an acorn and begins gasping as just this rain of water is rushing down upon him.
We did it.
Yay!
Yes.
All right. He looks fine. Let's just take that money and go.
All
Okay.
right. Paisley grabs the money in her mouth. Now what happens? Well, what I can tell you happens is that animal control, like if animal control had a SWAT team, that's what would show up. Like it's animal control and park rangers and you name it. Like it's the typical FBI sting. You hear either the unmarked cars show up and screeching of tires and the doors slam open and a bunch of people come out with like nets and stuff. They have called the Rapid Response Animal Attack Team.
I would like to run into the woods.
I think probably trying to escape is a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, where are you going to try to escape?
The woods.
The airport.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
The airport. We gotta go to the airport. Paige looks cute enough. Maybe she can stall as we all begin to run.
I would say
Good plan.
there's a short jaunt through the woods is the little airstrip. So I would like everyone to give me a move or sneak, your choice.
I got a 13. So I'm out of there. Probably chuck a nut at somebody too before I go.
And
Got
also,
a 9.
squirrels look all
Feed
alike.
them.
Cool.
I got a 6.
Ooh, do we have any boons?
I think we do. Let me just scroll up. Yeah, I think we still have one major boon. If
Want to use
everyone
it
else
up?
is doing okay. Yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
and Sin just
Wonderful.
redeemed a minor, so you can use that minor. Oh, Misha,
Yes.
Sin just redeemed a minor, so you can just add 1 if you want to. Or you could use the major and reroll.
I just used the major and reroll.
Okay, that works.
So I got a 9.
Oh, perfect. And what did
That's
Raccoon
awesome.
get?
I got an 11.
Oh, excellent. So there's some tight moments as Raccoon and Dampus just scatter. But the larger creatures, there's some moments where people like almost get you with a net, and there's some people trying to corral you, but there's so many of you, and the fact that Paisley is wearing a pillbox hat is distracting enough that you're all able to make a break for the woods. But they are following. You can peer, especially Dampus, who can very quickly scamper up to the tops of the trees, can see them. The humans are fanning out. They have little black boxes that they're talking to each other through. They seem very, very intent upon capturing you all. Another vehicle shows up. This one has a big red cross on it. And some other humans come out and begin to help your neighbor up. Like wipe his face down with towels. And you can hear him talking about how, he was nearly murdered. But you probably don't understand. You probably think he's saying that he had the best meal ever and that you guys are going to be best friends forever.
Yeah, I think that black box was a bad idea because now all these people want the same meal, and that was way too much trouble to go through to cook. I can't make that for everybody.
Oh, that's probably what it is. They heard about the fancy meal that you all made and they want one. Makes
Gotta
sense.
be.
Makes sense.
We gotta skip town. We can't afford this. This is too much work.
Such is the price of
Sign
fame.
up for this.
Yeah, well, Honk, you suspect that in a bigger town, you could make an even bigger splash with a fancy meal. Maybe your ambitions were to... you've already shown your power to basically all the humans here, and now they're just desperate to follow you and do what you want. Maybe your ambitions weren't large enough.
We need to go to a bigger city. Maybe even to Tarjay.
Oh, the Tarjay. We'll have
Ooh.
such a great time there.
That is a good idea.
It is.
How are we gonna get there?
Oh, I know. If we take a left right here, there is a one of those bigger birds that we can use.
Oh,
Yep. So
that's nice.
I call it Big Bird.
So Raccoon has been fond of watching the big birds take off and land, and they carry very often humans inside them. So it should be relatively easy for you all to fit.
Yep.
Paisley is quite large, but she's not larger than a couple of humans. So what do you all do?
Raccoon, how do these things work? Do we need money to buy to get on there? We have
No,
money.
no, they don't use money for these. I've seen them. They just have like weird little card things that they not the magic cards, but like do you know sometimes when you peek inside their house when it's cold out and they have those balloons everywhere and the people give them those folding cards? They have those
Right.
and they give those to get on the bird.
Oh, like the thicker paper.
Yeah, those.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I eat those.
Are they good?
No.
Okay.
But they do hide cheese every now and then.
Mm.
So what is the plan?
How do we get these? How do we get that?
I don't know.
Is there anyone walking? Is there anyone around the
It's
crop
still
duster?
it's still relatively early in the day, and you don't see any humans about. There is a big metal building, like really big, like big doors. And there are some, like, it's probably, if it's just an airstrip, there's probably not even paved. It's just like a nicely kept grass lawn for like little small prop planes. And you see 4 of these big birds. They're just sitting there. No humans about. You can see that they have blocks under the wheels to keep them from running away or rolling away. But you don't see any people about. Maybe they're in the building.
We
You know
gotta
more about
get
this
into.
than we do, raccoon. So
Mhm.
Okay, so we need those cards that sometimes have cheese. I've watched them a little bit from here from the woods. You have to move those weird cake slice rocks away from the round things. And then I think I saw them with those key things that they use in the square things at their houses.
Yep.
okay, I'll try to find. I know what keys look like because my neighbor uses keys all the time.
Okay, good.
So I'm just gonna look for the keys.
I'll just move the blocks then. On all of them, or you just need one of these?
I think we just need one.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll help Paisley move the blocks.
Sure. And what are you doing, Raccoon?
I will go with Dampus while Dampus looks for keys. I will look for the card with the cheese.
All right. Where are Dampus and Raccoon looking?
Probably in the metal building.
All right. So there is a very, very, very big door. And then there's a normal sized door. I will say the very, very big door is very slightly open.
Oh, good.
Like maybe it's it looks like maybe they've opened it to get a little bit of a breeze or something like that. So, or there's the human-sized door, and usually humans are with human-sized doors. So if you're looking for human things, that might be a good choice too. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll probably sneak in there.
The big one or the regular sized door?
The one that's already open. I have a hard time opening doors.
All right.
I will try to open the regular door.
Okay. Go ahead and give me for Raccoon, I think it's a sneak. Actually, for both of you, it's probably a sneak.
Oh, okay.
These are the best dice ever.
I got an 11.
Yeah, I also got an 11.
Wow. So Raccoon, again, just kind of, you probably do also have to use your hands, but mostly it's, you know how doors work.
Yeah.
There is one human in here, sitting at one of the boxes that glow that have words on it, and has a bunch of papers around her, and there's like, you can see like maps around, and she seems to be very busy writing something down on paper, and like occasionally looking at the glowing screen and checking and writing more stuff. She seems quite busy. Dampus, this is a huge cavernous area. There is one of these birds inside.
Oh.
It looks like the humans might have killed it, though. because its belly is open and there's like pieces of its insides just kind of strewn out on a piece of cloth on the hard concrete floor. And there is a human who is lying down on his back, reaching up and pulling more things out of this bird.
Oh, that's awful.
And
I'm gonna.
and he's whistling in pleasure as he does it.
I'm gonna go scratch him.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and go and attack him? I think that's a move.
Oh gosh, dang it! The one time I don't 4, 5, 6. That would be a 6.
Do we have any baboons that you could use?
There are 2 minor boons currently.
I can bump it to a 7.
All right. So you scamper over to him and you just do your mightiest squirrel scratch to like his boot, and he doesn't even notice. So then you will say you can see the gap where his jeans go over his boot. So you scurry in a little bit and he starts to react, and then you just give him a big old chomp right on the shin. You hear a huge thud as clearly he has sat up and he's hit his forehead on the belly of this metal bird. And then he kicks his leg out and you go flying. Like into a tire or something. Raccoon, you hear from the adjoining space a human cry out in pain, and then a big thud. And then you hear him yelling in alarm. The human that's in there looks over in that direction and gets up to head to an adjoining door. You're kind of in the middle of the room, so you probably want to hide.
Yeah, I will hide. Would it be sneak?
Yeah.
6.
Well, we have another minor boon if you want to kick that up to a 7.
Yeah, I'll use that.
All right. You are able to, seeing that she's standing up, you kind of squeeze yourself over into a corner, like behind where they've hung up their coats. She notices, she sees there's movement, because you can see her head look over there, but she doesn't actually see you, but she like starts to go over in that direction, and then she hears that man yelling. She knows, though, that there's something going on in this room. But she doesn't immediately go to investigate because that guy is yelling. Dampus, you see a door open and brighter light come behind, and you see a woman standing there, and she begins to yell at the man, and he's yelling at her. And he's now pulled himself out from under this bird and is wiping off his forehead. There's a big old goose egg on his forehead where he banged his head. And he's gesturing over into the darkness, into the corner where you are.
Yeah, I'll probably lay low and hide.
Go ahead and make a stealth. A sneak, I mean.
Ah, dang it. 6.
There's one last minor boon.
I mean, yeah, we can make it a 7.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, you try to find a better hiding place. And you do, but you knock over a can in the process. So it attracts their attention. Now, you are not hiding right next to where that can fell. So they don't know precisely where they are, but they clearly know something's there. This does, however, provide a little bit of an opportunity for Raccoon. Because it looks like the woman was hesitating to like maybe come back in and see what was going on with the coats rustling. But now that she's heard a sound further into the hangar, it looks like she's going to go out and help the man potentially chase down and kill your friend Dampus.
Yeah, I'm sure Dampus is fine.
Probably.
Is there any? Do I see any of the key things or the cards?
Sure.
But which or both?
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Okay. I'm gonna grab them.
Okay. You do.
Okay.
Are you leaving? I mean, you have a perfect opportunity at this point because no one can see you.
Yeah, I'll just leave.
All right. So Raccoon comes trundling out of the office. Dampus, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know that he has the keys, and I know humans keep keys in their pockets. So I'll probably scurry over and try to I'll probably go for the woman
Okay.
and see if I can't find some keys in her pockets.
Sure. Go ahead and make a move roll.
Much better. 10.
All right. So the man has pulled out a flashlight, and he is scanning over in the dark corner where you had knocked over the can. You have made, and she's holding back a little bit, like maybe there's something about knowing there's something behind her. She's holding back a little bit and is kind of looking around. You're able to make a wide arc and then just rush her. And then do a similar thing, climb up her leg, only this time you're going for her pockets. And sure, there's a set of keys in there. And you can grab them and run away. Or
Yep.
you can attack her.
Oh no, I only want to attack that dude. I don't
Okay.
know this lady, but I just want her keys.
Well, she immediately begins screaming and dancing around like crazy because there's a rodent on her. But you are very, very fast and nimble. You climb up, stick your little head in, grab the keys, and then hop off and run for the gap in the door. She pulls from her back pocket another one of these little small television, and you can see it light up, and she starts yelling into this thing. Basically, we're under attack. All the animals are attacking us.
The squirrel.
Well, it's dark, and humans are very dramatic and prone to exaggeration. So, what happens now? Oh, and what happens now is you hear sirens in the distance.
Oh yeah. How we doing on moving those blocks, I guess.
I think that certainly
Oh,
with
yeah.
the two of you working together, that's not that hard to do. I mean, Paisley can just grab the rope with her
Yeah.
teeth and pull.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
then-
hard.
Honk is pretending to be useful by imitating the people are sometimes here where they point places.
Yes, with your
So he's
wings.
like waving his wings around, being like,
Very good.
For absolutely no reason. I love it.
yeah.
All right, everybody, hop in. I think it's time to go. You got your keys and things.
I got some keys.
I also have keys.
Perfect.
And I got the card.
Yes.
Okay.
With and maybe it has cheese. Who knows?
I didn't check.
So, you go to try the keys. It takes a moment to figure out where the keys go because you're looking for a keyhole
Yes.
and you don't see a keyhole. You do, however, see a key sticking out of the console. So it probably takes a few moments to realize that the key to this metal bird was already in the metal bird.
Well,
But now you have more
Okay.
keys. They could be very,
Yeah.
very useful. You don't know.
Yeah, I'll hold on to the keys just in case, somewhere else we go, maybe they'll work.
It's true.
Good
it's
idea.
true. You never know. So what do you do now?
All right, everyone take a seat in one of the seats and fasten your seatbelts. The pilot is about to take off in a moment. Keep all arms, legs, wings, and
Tails.
tails inside the vehicle at all times. And I think that's everything you do, right?
Yeah, Paisley makes her way down the aisle. Could you please adjust your seat to the upright position, sir? Can I get you
Are
a
there-
cocktail?
Are there
Exactly.
any peanuts?
No. Oh, well,
That's
no,
disappointing. I always
but
heard there was peanuts.
there might be like a bag of trail mix stuffed into the back of one of these seats. It might be a little bit stale, but you're not proud.
Sounds good to me.
a meal's a meal.
It's true. It's true. A meal's a meal unless it kills you while being broadcast live. So, you gonna sit here until the animal control SWAT team shows up?
I'm gonna start the plane. Bird. Start the bird.
I think that needs a hands roll.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but they killed one of these birds. So
What?
we gotta get out of here. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It did
terrible.
what?
I got a 10.
Don't worry, I totally bit the guy that did it.
Oh, okay.
You've avenged them.
I avenged
Yes.
the big bird.
Well,
I got a 10.
excellent. You somehow through you were paying closer attention than you thought you were. But you start the engine, and maybe just as you're leaning up on the console trying to turn this thing, you just happen to press your hand on the whatever the thing is that gives it gas so it can actually start. It's been a long time since I was in a little plane.
Throttle.
Not the throttle. There's a thing that you actually have to give it a little bit of gas while you're turning. Anyway, you happen to do that. You also are getting a better look at the controls. This is going to be a little tough for you to operate by yourself.
Dampus,
Yeah.
I need help.
Oh, okay. I'll scamper up there.
So,
Look at all the things to touch.
right. Well,
Oh,
there are levers. So there's a control panel, and there's all kinds of various different knobs and levers and stuff on that. There is a wheel, not a wheel, like a steering wheel, but it's got handles on it. There is a set of handles that move back and forward, and there are some foot pedals. And your guess is you kind of need to work all those together to actually make it go.
Honk, we may need you over here to at least work like the foot pedals and stuff. Gotta step on these things, these big buttons. I can press other buttons. I'm really good at pressing buttons.
I could pull leather.
Okay.
Just kind of.
I can
So-
flip some switches.
We'll say raccoon is on the main. I forget what it's called. The main steering wheel. It's not a steering wheel. I know. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been in a little plane. And we've got Paisley on throttle. We've got Honk Solo on the flaps, and we've got Dampus on the console. Just randomly flipping levers.
Honk is gonna see if he can. Like we're all like big-ish creatures, but the way everyone's set up, no one necessarily has visuals. So Honk is gonna see if Honk can like look out the window, like the front window, and see if no, avoid that.
Yeah,
There's another plane, pull up.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, another bird, pull up.
yeah. You have the flaps, and you can. Your neck is extremely long. You can even just like snake it out the side window.
Mhm.
Yes.
This is like a single pilot setup. So I mean, you're all kind of crammed in there, and probably Paisley is kind of back in the main body of the plane bird, just craning your neck forward, waiting for the signal to pull back on the throttle. Cool. So make appropriate rolls to see how well you do, and we'll see how long it takes you, and whether the animal control SWAT team shows up before you're able to successfully get this thing moving.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Would I roll a sneak to look?
Sure.
Trying to avoid that move roll.
A little bit.
I got a 10.
Ooh,
I got a 9 for hands.
excellent.
I got
Excellent.
an 8.
We have one minor boon if you want to
And
make
make
that
it a
9 or
10.
10.
Yeah.
It could be helpful.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So I'm trying to think of what. So Dampus is successful to the extent that you don't like turn off the engine or flood it or do something else unfortunate. The downside of your partial success is that you do turn on the radio. Not like listening to the radio, but like the radio for communication. So now anyone who's listening to the channel hears honking and whatever weird chittering sounds raccoons and squirrels make. I don't know what sound alpacas make, but it's probably like a small, petite camel. So not very appealing. So there's a cacophony of animal sounds suddenly being broadcast over the local radio, which I'm sure the people in the, actually, I am sure the people in the hangar immediately hear. But everyone else did pretty well too. Honk got a 9. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I got an 8. Sorry.
Got an 8, which is still a success with complications. So, all right. Raccoon gives the word. Paisley just pulls back on the throttle. Not super, I mean, it's successfully, but not necessarily subtly. And you can feel the bird starts making this very, very loud roaring sound, and you can feel a lurch as it begins to move forward very, very quickly. Hunk is a little bit surprised, and the plane starts to drift, or the bird starts to drift, and you see the big hangar building coming into view. And as you begin to rapidly pick up speed, the large hangar door is opened another 3 or 4 feet, and these 2 humans rush out. The male kind of limping, the woman still kind of freaking out on the phone, and now she's yelling at the phone and she's pointing at the giant bird that you're in, and they're running toward the bird, but you are picking up significant speed. You are able to avoid colliding with them or running them over with the propeller because this is a family show. But
He deserves it.
But just they each have to dive out of the way as at the last minute you step on the right pedal and crank the flap around and start to angle yourself more or less down the runway. Raccoon, you know that you have to pull back. You've seen at least that much.
Yep.
So you wait until, we'll say, just as the animal control van and some other unmarked vehicles are pulling into both ends, like there's a road at each end. They're pulling into each end. There's some vehicles that are chasing behind you now, including a fire truck. And there's a big animal control van that pulls up, like kind of just short of the end of the runway, and a couple of people in like white jackets with nets on poles come out, and they look very angrily. And there's a man in a dark suit and a monocle and a fedora. He looks sinister. Honk, you recognize some sense of kinship with this person. This is an evil mastermind, if you've ever seen one. And he is staring very meaningfully at you all. But Raccoon deftly pulls back at just the last moment, the landing gear just kissing the top of this van. And you take off the top of some of the trees in the nearby woods. But you are airborne. What do you do?
I let out a resounding honk so that the mastermind knows what he's up against.
Yes, he is watching, and then he sees your head stick out the side, and you have that, although you're receding into the distance very, very rapidly, there's this moment where your eyes lock, and somehow you know this isn't over. Do you just fly off into the distance? Do we cut to a post-credit scene?
Do we know if the
I am afraid to.
do we know if the
Same.
do we know that the radio is on?
Probably not.
Okay.
Make a sneak roll, because that has to do with cleverness and stuff too. 7. You after several minutes realize, with all of your friends talking and the sounds of rejoicing happening, you eventually realize that Dampus had turned on the radio, and then you turn it off. Okay. So there's a good probably 10 minutes while you were broadcasting.
Yeah. All right. So we go to Tarjay.
All right. I think that's the post-credit scene.
Yep.
I think
Mhm.
I think what we see, I think the last thing the camera sees is this, this single engine plane kind of wobbling off into the distance, up into the clouds, and it's like the animal, and then the animals were never seen again, and then we get the credits roll. The post-credit scene is like a silhouette of some animals out behind, illuminated by a red Target sign. And they are digging around in the just amazing bounty of the dumpsters behind a Target. It is late at night. We think as the camera pans and we get the reveal that it is in fact a big Target mega center or whatever they're called. We think that the parking lot is empty until way off in the back we see the tail end of a plane that has run, like landed and then skidded and then like run off into the woods. So clearly you have made it here. And we see just the four of you rejoicing because there's clothes, and it's like there's like socks and like bandanas and jeans, and there's like CDs. There's a lot of food. There's like, you guys could just live here forever like kings. It's amazing. And maybe even, Honk, there are some rats that were back here that at first maybe tried to be a little bit territorial, but then you rear up and flap out your wings, and then they, scurry back. And then one of them, who's smarter than the rest, like goes off into a corner and like brings you a grape and kind of noses it towards you, trying to curry favor with you. So perhaps you have found some minions after all. Dampus is probably re-watching on the phone the recording of just how happy your neighbor looked as he was tasting your nuts. And maybe skipping past the part where he almost died. And just rewinding over and over and seeing that momentary look of confused pleasure before he started choking.
Probably thought it was his kids that left it out.
Yep, exactly. Paisley is dressed to the nines, right? There's probably even a couple of old displays, like the stand-up cutout cardboard displays, and you can like put your head in between like some jovial teens all dressed fashionably and have Raccoon take your picture. Raccoon, now having successfully tasted the freedom and joy of flight, maybe plotting the next adventure. And then we cut back to some unknown location in a dark sedan making its way down an unknown highway in middle America. In the very back seat, there's a man with a fedora and a monocle, and he's looking at a screen, and there's a little green dot. It's like a radar. As he's tracking the GPS chip in your phone. So, to be concluded in FOMOsapiens 2. Not, but whatever. So, always have to have a little bit of a cliffhanger. But yes, you didn't kill anyone. Congratulations, everyone.
Yay!
That was very well done.
Yay.
And everyone got what they
End in
wanted.
jail.
And we used almost all of the boons.
Yes, and I didn't use any of the banes. So I'm just going to add up all the banes to say you now have a major nemesis that is going to track you for the rest of your lives. Which in some of your
it's fine.
cases is probably like a year, because some of these animals don't live very long, but that's fine. Someone out there who belongs to a shadowy government agency is now bound and determined that before he retires, he will bring you all to justice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, so
Look
that
at
was
us.
that was peace was never an option. Our silly version of that / Untitled Goose Game, Goat Simulator or whatever, but a TTRPG. Very, very silly. But I personally enjoyed it. Thank you guys for playing. Thank everyone in chat and later on YouTube for watching. I will give my spiel later, but why don't we do the rounds one more time and let everyone know who you are and where they can find you online or where they might see you next. This time we'll start with SJ. And SJ's on mute.
Sidekick.
Oh, there we go. You're good now.
I am SJ_sidekick. That's my username everywhere. I don't stream, but I do appear here a lot. Next, on Thursday, I will be running a game called Spectrum Squad, which Zero will be playing in. And it's basically Power Rangers. So that's next up for me.
Yep. Coded. How about you?
All right. I'm evil_coded, basically everywhere. I am on Twitch. Who knows when I'll be streaming again on Twitch. I hope to appear here more often. I plan to. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Batty.
I am the Backwin. I stream on Twitch. I usually play a variety of games, but none of that's important right now. On Saturday, I will be playing a D&D one-shot with several people. I'll be playing with Tuff and Warwick and John L. and some others. Sin will be there as well. Yeah, that's what I got going next. And then, of course, you can catch me on C+ content. I have like 4 or 5 other things I'm doing.
What channel is that game on?
Oh, that's on my channel.
Cool.
The Backwin.
Excellent. And yours is, it's not 2 E's.
No,
On
not
Twitch.
for Twitch.
Okay,
That's only for
I'm
Twitter.
just putting the shout out in if I can click the right thing. Carry on, Misha.
All right, I'm Misha, less than 3. You can follow me on Twitter at Misha Weha. I think I will be here next on Sunday. I think we're doing the D&D game that's in the universe that the main D&D game used to be in, unless Zero wasn't anticipating that. But we'll see.
Dastardly Deeds in Ditchwater Gulch?
Yes, that one.
Perfect.
Yes, so that's happening, I think, starting on Sunday, and then who knows when after. But yeah, that's it for me.
Perfect. And I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or Zookeeper, as the system may require. I am often streaming here, usually as DM, but sometimes as a player, which I will get a chance to this coming Thursday at, like 6:30 something? Follow the C+ content Twitter for announcements, or head over to our Discord for the details of when the first episode of Spectrum Squad, or as I like to call it, Prism Pals, will air. That is another limited series. And yes, thanks for the reminder, Misha. On Sunday, we will have the first of a planned 3 episodes of Dastardly Deeds in Ditchwater Gulch. And then Sunday evening, over at the Licity Licity channel and the Juices TV program, we are going to be doing Only Murders in the Stream, which is a bunch of people get together. They are true crime enthusiasts, and they get exposed to a real crime and a real murderer, and they try to solve it before the murderer figures out who they are and kills them, or finds a way to frame them for the actual crime. So if you think that it is directly inspired by Only Murders in the Building, you are 100% correct. It's the TTRPG version of that, only it's streamers instead of podcasters. So, and then we have more stuff. Go ahead and head over to community.c+contenttv.tv. That is our Discord. There's a lot of info there and some cool people, a place to share your cool dice and your painted minis, or talk about the IPs that you love. And we do have a spreadsheet that lists out all the stuff that we have either currently scheduled or in scheduling or kind of on deck and in development. It's a big, long list. It's a spreadsheet. So expect more in the coming weeks and months. Anything else that people have? Oh, first of all, Coded, thank you very much. This was your first time with us. It was great fun. I'm glad you have signed up for other games, and so we will be seeing you again. Thanks everyone else for coming and joining and playing. Any other announcements or final words or things that we forgot? Cool.
I think we're good.
Please, if you haven't already, which you probably have, but if you haven't,